Hello, dear ones. Father Peter John here, coming to you from All Saints Orthodox Church in Bloomington, Indiana. Christ is in our midst. So we finished up now this 3-week series on the lives of the American saints. And I just kind of want to have a 5-minute wrap-up session with you and do a little bit of review of what it is that we learned. First, if you'll notice, most of the American saints, the vast majority of them, were not miracle workers. The exception, of course, being, for example, St. John of Shanghai and San Francisco, who is called the Wonder Worker, and St. Herman of Alaska. He had some pretty wonderful feats. There were other saints who had little things going on, but for the most part, wonder working was not their thing. Okay, their thing was, if we look at it in order of arrival, their thing was evangelization of the Americas. We look at the early saints who came and they were coming to bring the gospel to the native people, beginning in Alaska. And then you've got immigration. You know, you look at someone like St. Raphael Hawawini, for example, who, as all of these immigrants were flocking to America from the Middle East, he was sent to come and minister to them, to these immigrants, because he could speak their language, he understood their culture, and he would be able to pastor them in a way that was effective. And then the question of organization. You look at someone like, for example, St. Mardaria of Libertyville, and one of the things that he did was help to organize the Serbs who had come in. And of course, he also is an example of sanctity and asceticism. And so anyway, there's certainly some crossover there. But the reason I'm saying this is because I want to ask each and every one of us, what is it that we are being called to do? We're at a different point in church history right now on American soil. We're no longer on the initial evangelization of the native peoples here, right? That's not where we are right now. There's not so much in the way of immigration anymore that's going on. It's certainly not like it was. So that's not where we are. And as far as organization is concerned, you know, the church doesn't ever want to be overly organized, but the church has been pretty well organized as far as how to minister to these various groups of people. Now, we are at a totally different time. So, for example, we need to have a period of unification where the Serbians and the Russians and the Greeks and the Antiochians, etc., where they are all under one American Orthodox jurisdiction. There are going to be some saints who are going to come out of that, because it is with fear and trembling that we try to approach such a thing. I won't go into detail there, but that's on the horizon. There are any number of other things that are coming, some of which we can't even see yet, as we age as a church on American soil. And there will be these opportunities for us then to fill those needs and to be sanctified in doing so, to shine brightly, to be bearers of the light of Christ, like the gospel will say tomorrow, that no one lights a lamp and puts it under a bushel, but it goes on a lampstand. As Christians, we are supposed to be on fire for Christ. We are supposed to be filled with the Holy Spirit. The scriptures say our God is a consuming fire. We remember on Pentecost when the Holy Spirit came, it came in the form of tongues of fire. And so there is this real sense that if we are living as we are supposed to be living, that our faith will shine brightly in and through us, and that others will be able to see it. So that is also, of course, always a continued calling in the Christian life, is to bear witness to the light, to our neighbors, to those around us, to bear witness to the love of God through our actions and through our words, but really to live as though we are saints, as we are living out our calling to be saints. And if we do that, then whether or not there is an icon of us on a wall somewhere or in a shrine, like behind me here, the mosaic of St. Matthew, whether or not we have an icon or a title or anything else, if we are living our life as we are supposed to, as we are called to, as we are empowered to, then we are living out what we're supposed to be doing for Christ and for the church and for our neighbor. So, I hope and pray you have all been inspired by the stories of the saints, by their lives, many of them who gave their life in martyrdom, who were living witnesses to Christ and to love and to the truth and to the church. Christ is in our midst. He is and ever shall be.